I can hear you very well.
Okay, good.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, let me reshare the screen. This time, for some reason, so like few webinars that we've been doing lately, every single time we have some technical problems. I have no idea why is it happening, but WebEx is not reliable to us this time.
Oh, computers have a mind of their own.
Mhm. So yeah, let me start once again then. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We have amazing topic, corporate meetings, incentives, and events. We are continually promoting MICE business. It's growing for us. It's bringing very good revenue for our partners in EMEA. So we would like to share as much insight, as much experience as we want. This time, Clem is joining me. Clem is the king of MICE, bit of experience, great sales manager. He's joining us from Miami. That's why we are doing this so late. We gave some time for Clem to sleep. So I hope he is full of energy now. And yeah, it's over to you, Clem.
Thank you, Alex. I'm actually an early riser. Maybe not today, but thank you so very much. And thanks for the opportunity to present on the meetings and incentives um, world at Royal Caribbean International, something that I'm very passionate about. And as you mentioned, it's growing tremendously, leaps and bounds, as we see new customers, new groups come on board, um, monthly. Groups that have never sailed before had no idea that we have conference facilities and amazing venues on board our ships. So we will cover that in this presentation. For a better view, I'm going to shut my camera and then we can go ahead and start. Let me see here. Yeah. So at Royal Caribbean International, Royal Caribbean International are the leaders when it comes to meeting and incentives. Our ships, our ships are built for business. We have such innovative ships. Every time Royal Caribbean built a ship, um, the world thinks, oh, what is next? What are they coming up next? Because of course, it's such innovative ships, but always keeping business in mind, and that is why we are the leaders when it comes to meetings, incentives, and events. So innovation, our ships are very innovative, from the rock climbing wall to the ice skating rink, inline skating, flow rider, you name it. All these different um, complementary event spaces on board you can use for team building, anything. So we will cover that in this presentation. Meeting space. At Royal Caribbean, all of our ships have conference facilities and venue spaces. You can use these at no cost. So, for example, in the conference room that most ships have up to 400 seated theater style, you can use the conference room at no cost, and the AV is also inclusive. Private venues, so you can host your welcome receptions, your farewell receptions, any type of general sessions in these venues at no extra cost. What we need in advance is, when you request a quote, is please let us know what the event is, and will you have any of these? Do you need breakouts, conference centers? Do you need hospitality? So that way we can look at the availability in advance and not just send you a quote and it's not available. As well as customization. Not only on board the ship do we customize your programs, but we also like to know, what would you like to customize any shore excursions? So again, not only on board the ships for all the events that I just mentioned, but how about when you arrive in the Bahamas? Or if you're in Europe, when you're in Barcelona, what would you like to do? Here's a list of the shore excursions. Would you like to customize your program even further? Perhaps the VIPs will do one private excursion, and then the rest of the participants will do another type of excursions. So allow us to customize your program as much as possible. We have the largest dedicated MICE team in the cruise industry. At Royal Caribbean, here in the Miami headquarters, we have around 45 individuals that are dedicated to MICE business only, MICE group business only. That's counting, of course, MICE sales, operations, as well as full ship charter sales and operations. So again, we have a dedicated team here in the Miami office that works with all the international representatives worldwide, the Royal Caribbean representatives, um, to customize your program, send you the proposal, and then of course deliver in communication with the ships to deliver a flawless program. At Royal Caribbean, all of our ships have group coordinators. This is like a convention services manager at our hotel. So this person, he or she, will be in constant communication with our Miami office, discussing your program, all the details of your program, your welcome reception, your farewell reception, if you're delivering any gifts. So let's say you ship to the ship, 10 boxes with details. Box number 1 of 10 is to be delivered to these staterooms. The remaining goes to the rest of the participants, et cetera, et cetera. So this group coordinator works very closely with our office. At Royal Caribbean, most people think, oh, Royal Caribbean, or do you only sell in the Caribbean? We do not. Royal Caribbean, we have ships in the Caribbean. We have ships in the Med, so out of Barcelona, out of Rome, out of Ravenna, out of so many different ports of call. Southampton, let's not forget Southampton. So we do everything from 3 nights, 4 nights, 5 nights, and longer. So there is an itinerary for you out there for your program. We also do Alaska. We do Australia, New Zealand, and as I mentioned, we have 3 nights and longer. Our unique venues on board the ships are just amazing. We like to think that we're not just like a cruise line, we're a venue company. We're a unique events venue company. Why? Because we have venue spaces on board that you can use for your program. So, for example, you have in the middle section on the left-hand side, you have Studio B. Studio B is the ice skating rink that has some fabulous ice shows that are just jaw-dropping. But most of the groups, larger groups, they use this venue. So it holds 700 in the stadium seating, up to 900 when you cover the floor. There's a wooden floor that covers, and you can use that for any type of reception, general session. You can do um, you can do like a meeting, for example, in the theater, and you can televise it from the theater to Studio B at no extra cost. You try and do that at a land-based hotel, and it's very, very expensive. The dedicated conference facilities that I mentioned on all of our ships, and we'll show you later on slides the different breakouts. The amazing entertainment that Royal Caribbean provides, whether it's the Aqua Show, whether it's the main theater, the ice show, is just incredible. You don't have to bus anyone anywhere. It's all on board our ships, and it's all inclusive. As I mentioned, land programs allow us to work with our Shore Excursions team, which is also here in the MICE department, so we can customize your program. And let's not forget cost effectiveness. Nothing like a Royal Caribbean cruise when you compare to a land-based resort. It is really over 30% savings. And here we are, cost containment. There are no hidden costs, no hidden fees. We will upfront let you know exactly how much each cabin category that you have selected, which includes all your meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, your accommodations. And then you've got everything, the entertainment that I mentioned, staging and decor. You don't need to hire a DMC. These beautiful venues are already decorated. The venue spaces that I mentioned, the AV that's included. There is a minimal cost. For example, if you're having a general session in the theater, there is a cost for the AV and technicians, which is $100 an hour. But when you compare that to a hotel, it's a lot less expensive. And then, of course, we have photographers on board. We have a very nice promotion on that we offer only for MICE groups, which is called the 5% master account. And let me explain the 5% master account. The total number of the category that you've booked, the revenue, you add that up, and 5% of that you can use towards the final payment, right? Or you can use it on board for any type of event. So let's say you want to have the VIPs and host them for a champagne cocktail, you can use that amount that you have on board. You can also book, let's say, spa appointments and use that amount. So it's a really nice perk to offer your corporate groups. And again, it's only offered in for MICE groups. And then we have the complimentary cap points. So every sailing has what we call cap points, which is corporate amenity points. You use these points to purchase, for example, you want to have a welcome bottle of champagne with a note from you, bon voyage, have a wonderful trip, well-deserved trip, etc. Or there's a whole list of items that you can use these gap points to further enhance your program. Site inspections. We have two different site inspections. You have site inspection for when the ship is on the dock, where you can just have a quick tour and see the venue space and the conference facilities, or your client wants to sail. They want to sail and they want to experience the Royal Caribbean product. We can absolutely do that. And if you book the group, that cost for that site sailing gets credited back to your group. Each sailing also has what we call the tour conductor discount. So for every 15th person body, the 16th is complimentary, and we can work that with you. So all these perks is just incredible. It enhances your program and is more than 30% savings for your organization. Innovative ships, like I mentioned, nothing like a Royal Caribbean ship. You think, oh, maybe the ships are too large. Well, we have a ship for you. We have different classes of ships. So you have the Vision class, the Voyager class, Radiance class, Freedom, and they all range from 1,900 guests all the way up to the Icon, which is about 7,000 guests. So we have a ship for you. 3,000, 2,000, 4,000, etc. But even if you have a group of 50 passengers, we can customize your group very nicely in private areas on board that they won't feel like they're lost. I'll share with you, I had an insurance group many years ago. There were only 50. They were only 50 and they were concerned, oh, we're in an Oasis class, over 5,000 guests. Well, we customized all their events on board so nicely that they booked the following year in Alaska. This one was in the Caribbean. So we can customize your program. Our common ship features, we have the rock climbing wall, which we can do like group activities for you, team building activities, the Broadway shows that I mentioned, all the different pools, the different venues, the conference facilities. We don't charge also for using the gym. So many different activities or nothing at all. So allow us to help you customize your program so it can be unforgettable and like no other destination that they've been to before, because we want to be different. We want to have that incentive or meeting be different than the previous one that they've hosted. So our Oasis class Allure of the Seas will be amplified. She's sailing out of Rome and Barcelona in summer of 2025. She's going to a dry dock, what we call dry dock, and she's going to be completely revitalized. And then we're going to add different venue spaces on board. This is a very popular ship in the Mediterranean for meeting and incentive groups and also full ship charters. So stay tuned for more information after her dry dock, which we can have another webinar and show you all the different venues that she received.
Yeah, we did a webinar on Allure.
Oh, you did?
Last week.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys, you can go on our YouTube channel and just watch a recording if you missed it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alex. So meeting and event venues. Royal Caribbean ships really have the amazing venues on board. So for example, this main theater holds up to 1,400 seated theater style. So whether you're having any type of reception or a general session, we do a lot of programs like the Amways of the world. We do a lot of the Herbalifes worldwide, New Skin, etc. They love to cruise because of the savings. They have multiple general sessions. They do their product launches, and they typically, because of the size of the groups, they use the main theater at no extra cost. So we wanted to show you this picture here, how amazing, and the technology that we have on board. And then we jump into the conference center. So these are different styles that you can use on board, whether it's theater style or U-shape or classroom. We can definitely accommodate any type of breakouts in the conference center. We can also have, any type of breakfast. We've had some meetings that are just go on for the entire day. So they also have lunch in these rooms and just continue. But the savings, the value is what they really, really enjoy. And this is, of course, the conference center. When you open all the air walls, it's up to 400 seated theater style. This room breaks up into 4. So here's the different breakouts that you see here, whether it's theater, classroom, U-shape, etc. But again, this is complimentary, and we like for you to please communicate to us in advance. When you ask for a proposal, let us know whether, if you need meeting space, if you need breakouts, so we can go ahead and make sure that, first of all, it's available, and then we can block it for you and it's in your contract. Here's another amazing picture of the main theater, which holds up to 1,400 seated theater style. So if you have large groups, take advantage of this and use these. The Studio B that I mentioned earlier on the left-hand side, 700 seated stadium seating. And when you go ahead and put the hardwood floor, you have up to 900. And again, you can simulcast from the theater, because we've had some large groups of 2,000. You can simulcast from the theater to Studio B at no extra cost. It's a big savings. And other lounges, of course, that hold up to 500. So our typical group at Royal Caribbean is between 300 to 500. So we like to use these lounges for the welcome reception, the farewell, perhaps like handing out the welcome bags. Please stop by Dazzle's Lounge or stop by such and such lounge, have a cocktail and pick up your welcome bag. So beautiful lounges, they're already beautifully decorated. No DMC is necessary. So we wanted to just share with you the picture of these wonderful lounges that we have on board. As well as, for example, a Quantum class ships, this Cplex venue, which holds different activities throughout the day, but also you can have meetings, general sessions, you name it, in this wonderful, wonderful lounge that holds up to 1,500 guests. This is on our Quantum class ship. And we will have a Quantum class next year in the Med. So be on the lookout for that one. Fabulous, fabulous itinerary. We also have venues that are outdoor, indoor, outdoor. So a lot of our groups are like, well, we're on the ocean. We'd like to have our welcome reception outside. So just wanted to share with you Solarium. This is a solarium on board our Oasis class ships, which has beautiful outdoor venue spaces where you can host your welcome reception or farewell, etc. As well as on our Oasis class ships, we have different neighborhoods. So for example, Boardwalk and the Aqua Theater, you can host this privately. You'll have to do a buyout of the neighborhood, but we will shut it down for your program and you can do a buyout. We can work with our F&B department to do whatever type of specific menu you would like. They're very open to that for our MICE groups. So just keep that in mind. It could be Central Park that you want to do a buyout, the Solarium you want to do a buyout, or Boardwalk, etc. You can do buyouts if you have a group that's large enough. Alex, I turn it over to you.
Yeah. I actually like that we are so smooth team now that you don't need to tell me next slide. I just do it by myself. Yeah. Okay. Destinations. So yeah, as Clem said, we have so many ships. It allows us to sail everywhere in the world. So we have so many ships in Caribbean, 6 ships in Europe. We have 4 ships in Alaska, 2 in LA, 5 in northeast of the US, 2 in Australia, 3 in Asia. So basically gives us an opportunity to offer any product, any size of the ship in any place of the world, except few continents. So you can see we sail everywhere. But it's not only this, we also have so many different home ports, again, all over the world. From what we can see is the most demand in EMEA for MICE business is coming for these 3 regions. First one is, of course, Caribbean. We, I think, have groups flying to the US every week, every month from Europe. And most of the sailings are coming from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Port Canaveral, which makes sense because we, people from EMEA, what we like, the best, the biggest, and the newest ships, which sail in from these 3 home ports. Then Europe, which again makes a lot of sense because it's our closest home ports. I would say probably Barcelona is the most popular, and again, it makes a lot of sense because where the biggest and the boldest ships are sailing from Barcelona. And the new destinations that we started to open for MICE business, I would say probably last year, is Asia. We had a couple of groups sailing from China and a few groups sailing from Singapore. So yeah, okay, being like from our region, from EMEA, we can always look at our home ports, like in our backyard, but also look west, but don't forget to look east. So, few examples of sailing that we are offering that might be interesting for MICE clients. MICE likes short sailings, and we like short sailings as well because there is a huge demand on them. So Utopia, our youngest ship in the fleet, launched like 2 months ago. Clem enjoyed a week, I guess, on board Utopia. Me, no. So I'm not jealous, absolutely not. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing ship. It's Oasis class ship. It's very much like Wonder that all of you know well because we had a lot of business coming on Wonder when she spent inaugural summer season in Europe a few years ago. So Utopia is doing only short sailings from Port Canaveral for the next 2 years, and all of the sailings are calling in the Bahamas. And this is amazing product to choose in the Caribbean. New ship, huge ship, and short sailings. But we don't forget about Europe. This is one of the feedbacks that we've been receiving from our travel partners for many years, is that to start pushing more MICE, they need more short sailings in Europe. And next year, we're going to have 3 short sailings on Allure, 3, 4, and 5 nights. I put a bit longer sailings that are starting in the beginning of the season in April 2025. As Clem mentioned, Allure going to be amplified. We're going to be spending more than $100 million to do it. It's huge. I mean, it's more than to build a hotel, to be honest. And this is just modernization of the ship. So Allure, amazing ship, itinerary, amazing, sailing from Barcelona. All of us, most of us have a direct flights to Barcelona. So yeah, please go and push short sailings of Allure. But also we're going to have a lot of short sailings from the UK. So Independence, not as big as Allure, but still an amazing ship. A lot of things to do. You can see on the photo, like slides, flow rider, etc. And amazing itineraries. Visiting Brussels, visiting Hamburg. Hamburg is my favorite city in Germany, amazing. Rotterdam, so many interesting places. Again, great for mice. And if we look east, Spectrum, only short sailings in China. We have few longer sailings that are also nice for mice because it's a long flight. But also we have a short sailings in Singapore. In Singapore, we're going to have two ships in the next 2 years. So Anthem is going to start her way to Singapore next month. And we're going to have amazing season on this beautiful ship. And next year, Ovation gonna come and do the same itineraries from Singapore. And not only this, but we also worked with our back office teams, and we launched special rates on Singapore sailings that are open until end of September. You can see some of the sailings on the slide, some of the rates that these are inside cabin rates, but we can also quote any other category based on your request. Over to you, Clem.
Thank you, Alex. So more on activities and customization options. Again, we want to really customize your program and be really different from what they've done in the previous program. So take advantage of our onboard signature activities, like, for example, the Flow Rider. I've had groups that have done private Flow Rider team building activities. The zip line, the sports court also, they've done private basketball for their company. Recently, I had a group from Mexico, and the top VIPs only, because it was a large group, they booked privately the miniature golf, which has no cost. We did have to pay minimal fee for the staff to be there, and also we had a satellite bar, so they had a miniature golf session. So that was wonderful. The rock climbing wall, the bumper cars, any of these that you see on here, you can, depending on your group size, because of course, let's say you have 20 participants, it's would be too small, but we can customize and help you do any type of team building on board. The venues are already there, so why not use them? This is why Royal Caribbean is the most innovative cruise line in the cruise industry. So use them, let us know and share with us. I'd like to use this venue for a team building, etc., and we will work with you and the ship. And then, of course, there's countless ways of making your program all inclusive and or enhancing it. So, for example, 90%, I would say, of our programs, they of our MICE groups, they pre-book the beverage package. They don't want, they're like, okay, the participants, everything is inclusive. They've won this incentive. We don't want them spending. I mean, of course, they can spend on personal items on board and go to the spa, etc. But let's go ahead and purchase the deluxe beverage package in advance. Perhaps you want to do. We have specialty restaurants on board our ship, so maybe you want to do buyouts of our specialty restaurants, so we can help you with that in advance. And then, of course, your groups will be assigned to either you let us know whether first seating or second seating, and everybody seats together in one area. And we recommend, of course, if the company wants to send either tent cards or company flags. I had a distributor that brought in some runners, and they put the runners on each table, and it had the logo. So we can do, things like that, that it enhances the program, so keep that in mind. That's like a hidden corporate branding. Although you're a group, you have it within your area. team building that I mentioned, the entertainment options. Perhaps you want to hire one of our photographers at a minimal cost to do group photos or couples photos. Anything, you let us know and we can help you customize your program. And we like to say, do your homework. Do your homework. The more information you obtain from your client, the better we can customize your program and give you all the information up front instead of the back and forth. So make sure you obtain uh, the sale date. Are they flexible? Because perhaps maybe that sale date you've chosen is already, all the balconies, let's say, are already booked. So are they flexible? Okay, send us a couple of dates. How many people? Is this an incentive? Is this a meeting? How many breakouts do you need meetings? How about a welcome reception? How much do you want to customize your program, right? And then, you know, as you submit that to us, we have all this information. We're able to customize your proposal as much as possible and not go back and forth and waste some time, because we want to turn around that proposal as quickly as possible. So again, we can forward this to you and try and fill it out as much as possible. That way we can send your proposal with as much details as possible. And then MICE marketing material. For the first time, our department also, we have a MICE marketing department. It has two individuals, which are amazing, and they'll help you with any type of flyers that you want to customize. For example, let's say you're going to a big event in your region and you want a specific flyer or a presentation. Come to us and we will help you customize that. Or you can choose from our library any of these MICE collateral materials which have already been created. We have videos, we have specific presentations, we have, my favorite is the cruise versus land comparison that you're seeing here. And why? Because it shows you line by line what is included on board Royal Caribbean ships versus a land-based resort, which is really shocking to some of the new clients that have never cruised before, and they're like, I really didn't know. For example, I attended a show last year in the UK, and almost everybody said, I did not know you had conference facilities on board. I always thought of leisure when I see a cruise ship. So again, it's a very small percentage of out there. I believe it's under 15% that have cruised before, and even less that have hosted a meeting or an incentive on board a cruise ship. So we need from our side to get the word out even more. But again, it's just so amazing. It really does deliver, and it's just an incredible. But marketing materials, again, we have them all for you. Just let us know, and we're here to help you.
Thank you, Clem. That's actually it.
You're welcome, Alex.
Yeah. So thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us. If you have questions, just drop them now to the chat. We also have Matt who's helping us if something is quick to answer. I will start summing everything up, and if you have some questions, just drop them and maybe we can spend 1-2 minutes to answer them. So in our webinar series, we still have few webinars left. So next week, we're gonna have 2 more, Caribbean and Alaska, and also then Asia and China. So we first go to the west and then we go to the east. And week after, we are doing another 2 webinars. First one is Next Cruise. We are joined by Vince Alessia, who is the creator of Next Cruise program. And at the end of the webinar series, we're going to be talking about how to increase value of your guest, meaning how to get more commission, basically. All of the webinars are recorded and they are uploaded on YouTube. Here is a QR code to the channel. You can subscribe and follow us, and you're going to get notifications of all webinar recordings, including this one. So, Clem, you're going to be on YouTube soon in a few hours. Are you excited?
Very excited. I'll let you know if I get a phone call.
Yeah. So thank you guys.
Thank you all very much for attending, taking the time to learn more on mice business.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
See you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.